I'm Cathlyn Choi, a Korean chef now living in the US. My passion is creating healthy and delicious foods using some of my favorite Korean ingredients. Join me in learning about Korean foods, ingredients, and culture. Next on Cathlyn's Korean Kitchen. Today's recipes are based on Korean wild greens and herbs. Vegetarian bibimbap, made with slightly sautéed 5 colored vegetables with a side of hearty, mild soybean sprout soup. Later, I'll share another delicious appetizer recipe that is fit for anyone to enjoy, Souk calamari Chon, and a very healthful and refreshing Souk fruit sorbet for dessert. Today, we're going to explore the benefits and cultural meaning of Namul and Cha, which we Koreans have been consuming for thousands of years to preserve our inner health and outer beauty. Namul is well represented in Korean cuisine through the most popular Korean dish, Bibimbap, as well as in banchan side dishes. In Korean cuisine, Namul refers to various vegetables such as wild greens, herbs, and roots, and is also a general term for seasoned vegetable dishes. For thousands of years, Koreans have been consuming a large amount of wild greens, mountain herbs, and field greens. Today, different kinds of namul are eaten at different times of the year and on special occasions throughout Korea. Traditionally, Koreans like to eat Che, which means 5 seasoned vegetables, in the onset of spring every year. Each color symbolizes the 5 Confucian virtues: green for benevolence, white for justice, red for courtesy, black for wisdom, and yellow for sincerity. Che also represents the 5 tastes: spicy, bitter, sour, pungent, and salty. Cha is a Korean name for a variety of herbal or plant-infused tea, prepared by combining hot water with fruits, herbs, roots, or grains. Cha can be served hot or cold. The Korean tea ceremony called tado is performed at certain times of the year and on special occasions as a way of paying respect to our ancestors. Some of the most popular cha made from herbal roots are insam cha and senggang cha, whereas senggang cha made with ginger roots is known to prevent or treat common colds and aid digestion. Insam cha made with ginseng root is believed to increase energy and stamina. Above all, the most commonly served cha at Korean homes and restaurants is pori cha, roasted barley tea, which is also popular in Japanese and Chinese cultures. Today, tea is consumed primarily for relaxation purposes, as it has a calming and soothing effect. That's why cha is offered to guests at home and work, a gesture of warm welcome and respect. We Koreans believe that cha is good for our kibun, which is our inner spirit that affects our moods and outer beauty. The ingredient featured in today's recipes is sook, known as the crown daisies or garland chrysanthemums, used as an aromatic herb in Korean foods, drinks, and even in the spas. There are 5 kinds of namul that I've prepared today, primarily toraji, the bellflower roots, the sukkat leaves, known as garland chrysanthemums or crown daisies, gosari, the bracken ferns, soybean sprouts, and some shredded carrots. So we have 5 different colors for our sanche bibimbap. I've pre-soaked and hydrated the bellflower roots and gosari bracken ferns. So let's start off with boiling some water and blanching a couple of namul. So today's bibimbap is going to be more of a vegetarian version. The only animal protein that you would be having is from the egg, because for any bibimbap, having an egg sunny side up or over easy is one of the key ingredients. Trust me, it makes such a big difference. First, I'm going to blanch the soybean sprouts. You don't want to overcook vegetables. Just about a minute. Next, the crown daisies. We use souk leaves a lot in Korean traditional soups, hot pots, and even casseroles. It's a great aromatic herb. It's ready, just about half a minute, and it's already softened. I'm not going to throw this water because I'm going to use this as part of the base for the soup. I'm going to drizzle some sunflower oil to saute the vegetables, starting with the one that's the lightest in color, which is the bellflower roots. A little pinch of sea salt, pinch of black pepper. The key to bibimbap namul is to maintain the color of each of these ingredients. I'll add a little bit of minced garlic to it. A little more oil. The bracken ferns. I'm going to add some soy sauce and sesame oil to season it. Put about a teaspoon of sesame oil and half a teaspoon of garlic. I can feel the bracken ferns are getting softer. The next thing I'm going to do is chop up this blanched souk leaves. To this, I'll add just a tiny bit of minced garlic, half a teaspoon of sesame oil, and a pinch of salt. I'm not going to use the soy sauce because I want to retain the color of all the vegetables. You don't really have to add too much seasoning, especially the salt, because later on it's going to be mixed up with the rice and the gochujang chili sauce. So in this bowl, add the souk leaves, a little hint of sesame oil, a pinch of sea salt, and a pinch of black pepper. Fifth ingredient of the namul is the shredded carrots. You can also saute them in a little oil, but I prefer it this way. So here we have 5 colored sanche namul. And in a bowl here, I'm going to move the rice over because we want the color from the egg as well. I'm going to cook the egg sunny side up, but then have the yolk cook indirectly in the heat by putting the lid over it. Right there, perfect. And to this, some gochujang sauce and drizzle some sesame on top. And a touch of roasted sesame seeds on top, a little bit of each all around the bowl. Make it look nice and pretty. This time, I'm going to make delicious and nutritious soybean sprouts and radish soup. First, I'm going to slice up some daikon radish. In all soups, it's really important to braise or saute the ingredients first to really bring out the flavors of the ingredients. flavor of the soybean sprout and radish soup is going to be slightly sweet from the daikon radish. A bit of salt, pepper, minced garlic, and some chopped green onions. Now in the vegetable stock from earlier, add the dashima sea kelp slices and let it come to a boil. Now we've got really nice flavor and color from the dashima sea kelp. Scoop them out and we'll add the sauteed daikon radish and the bean sprouts. Let it simmer for about 2-3 minutes and it's good to go. This is how we normally have our bibimbap. You mix all the ingredients here in the bowl. I can taste the variety of distinct flavors of all the namul and enhanced by the sweet and spicy gochujang sauce. And the egg and sesame oil balances out all the flavors of the ingredients and rice really nicely. It really complements the bibimbap with its mild flavored broth. Now let's check in with our liquid chef Woody to see what kind of special drink he has up his sleeve for us today using the Souk powder.
In the world of drinks, I do love cocktails, but I also love tea. It's a really refreshing, revitalizing drink that you can enjoy pretty much any time of the day. And Cathlyn's given me a challenge to incorporate sook into this particular drink. And I had no idea what it was when she said, "Get it in there, Woody." So I did a little research. It's actually ground down chrysanthemum. Let's cook it. Let's see what it's like. Put a good teaspoon of souk in there, and I imagine you can get that from your Korean supermarket. I also went for what some people might call ginseng, but of course it is in Korea called insom. Insom is probably a little bit different as well, but get some of that root in there. So that's going to get us some revitalized energy. So somewhere before midday, you're going to need something like that, and also some ginger to give it a nice sweet and spicy flavor. But when you take all of this and you steep that or simmer it for about 15 minutes on the stove, it is going to make it a little bit bitter. So pop that on the stove, let it cook away, and you have in here essentially one of those mysterious sort of oriental broths that you get prescribed for backache or something. But I'm not going to make it as a warm tea, I'm going to make it as a cold tea. So in here, I'm going to use this as a receptacle because it's kind of cool. I'm going to half fill it with this broth. You can kind of see the ingredients in here coming out. We don't necessarily need them in there. So pop that back there, and I'm going to sweeten it up with a little bit of fresh Asian pear. So juicing this all up in your little juicer. There it is. So, if you're going to make an iced tea like this, it's really about the presentation. So the sweetness of that, almost like milk in a normal kind of English tea. And then I'm going to use an ice bath. So sort of like an iced bain-marie, if you will. And I would take this out like so it gets nice and cold. Anywhere you go in Asia, you're going to be drinking tea. It's just part of the norm. To show you what it looks like, we'll take the iced tea and pour it up like this. You always pour somebody else. And this is about really kickstarting your day the liquid kitchen way. And as a little Korean, you can just tell it's good for you. Oh, there's that root doing that thing to me, straightening my spine, giving me all my energy back. I hope you like it, Cathlyn. Have one on me.
So now I'm going to incorporate the souk and the souk powder into my next recipes. The first one is calamari souk Chon. And that way we'll get the vitamins and minerals from the souk leaves and some protein and omega-3 oil and calcium from the calamari. So we'll chop up the souk leaves. Typically the stems are used to flavor soups and also great for stir fries, but for this recipe I'm only using the leafy parts of the souk leaves. Dice up half a brown onion. Next I'll chop up a red bell pepper, which again will give it a slightly sweet flavor and also the color to the jeon. I have a whole calamari here, cleaned, deskinned, and patted dry. First, I'll cut them up into rings and then chop them up in small pieces. For the batter, we have a cup of tempura batter and half a cup of water with a pinch of salt. Break an egg into the batter and whisk, just like how you would make pancake batter, into a thin, creamy consistency. Now add the chopped calamari and vegetables into the batter. If the batter is too thin, stir in a little more flour. Drizzle some oil in the non-stick pan. Using a ladle, scoop up some batter and onto the pan. Make sure they're browned evenly on both sides, so they're crispy on the outside but soft on the inside. Well, the calamari souk jeon is done. Beautiful. Look at the colors. Lastly, for the dipping sauce, I'll make a simple soy sauce vinaigrette. We'll need 4 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, a squeeze of lime juice, and a dash of Korean chili flakes. Time to try out the Souk calamari jeon. Just a tiny piece here. The texture of the batter is soft and slightly crispy on the outside, but it is crunchy on the inside from the chopped up green onions, the bell peppers, and the onion. And the calamari is cooked to perfection and marries well with the aromatic souk flavor. Wow, this is definitely a great appetizer dish that anyone can enjoy right in your own home. Now, a lot of people ask me what Koreans usually eat for dessert. The answer is simple: fresh fruits. But occasionally we do eat traditional rice cakes, but that's only during certain times of the year and during special occasions and holidays. So today, using fruits and souk powder, I'm going to make a very healthy version of low-fat, low-calorie fruit sorbet. If you can't get souk powder, try substituting it with green tea powder. It's equally delicious and it does taste pretty similar. For the sweet flavors, I have a Korean pear, a banana, an orange, semi-dried Korean persimmons. But first, we'll need to puree all the fruits into a blender. Slice up the pear and then peel the skin off. Then slice the lemon in half. Same thing with the orange. Just remove the stem from the persimmons because that's the part that's not edible. Put the pear, banana, persimmons into the blender. For the sourness, squeeze half a lemon and a zest of lemon for added citrus flavor. Repeat the same with the orange, a little zest of orange. Add a heaping tablespoon of souk powder, an ounce of the raspberry wine, a tiny dash of organic natural stevia extract. Lastly, add about half a cup of water. Blend for about a minute. Then pour onto an ice cream maker or a little bowl. And we'll put the sorbet in the freezer and let it freeze about 2-3 hours or overnight if you're making it the night before. Now here's some souk sorbet that I made earlier today. Now the trick here is to add a small amount of alcohol, as this will give the sorbet a lot smoother, less grainy texture. Lastly, garnish with some fruits of your choice. In my case, I like mine with some fresh blackberries. The texture is really smooth and creamy, and I can taste the mixture of the banana and the pear and the persimmons. Delicious, so sweet, and the soup flavor. It's really nice and very refreshing. Great sorbet, and healthy too. Now it's time to see what Dr. Dia has to say about the health and nutritional benefits of today's ingredients.
The beautiful, fragrant chrysanthemum plant, or sook in Korean, treats headache, hypertension, and coronary artery disease. It also benefits the eyes and skin, so you'll not only look good, you'll be able to see how good you look. Ginseng is one of the most revered herbs in Asian medicine. Used as an energy tonic in the West, it greatly strengthens weak immune, digestive, and respiratory systems. It's also used to treat impotence, so you get a lift in energy and in the va-va-voom. Enjoy!
Thanks for watching, and remember, life's delicious, so taste it.